Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Taylor Lauren here, and here on my channel I talk about my life as a beauty queen, as a wife, and as a mama. So if that content interests y'all, then keep on watching. Blair and I are actually headed out of the door because we have meet the teacher at preschool today, and we actually have to drop off some of her school supplies. So I thought that I would share with y'all what we got her for preschool and what was on the school supply list before we head out. And it's in the morning, it's Thursday, her first day of preschool is Tuesday, so this is her hype time. No thank you, mama, no thank you. So I'm hurry and get this out the way before we head out the door. So first things first, we got her a monogrammed backpack from Etsy. I will try to link the store down below, but we're in Georgia, bless you. And we ordered it from a shop in Texas, and it was super fast, super easy to order. I didn't have to communicate with the shop owner or anything like that, but all the reviews said that she was really good at communicating. I just want her name to be on everything, y'all. And in my 10 years of childcare, mostly as a nanny, like 6 months of that was as a preschool teacher. So I feel like I do have a little bit of insight as to what makes things easier for them. So even with like her water bottles and things like that, let me see, I put her name on everything with my Cricut. I don't know if you guys can see her name there, Blair Josephine. I do know that there is another Blair at the school, but they do not spell their name with the E. And they're in a different classroom, like a different grade. Blair's in the ones room, obviously. Okay, hey. She turns 2 in November. But she's going to be, the way the preschool operates is they keep the kids together as they matriculate through the rooms. So she's going to be in the ones room all year. She'll probably just be the oldest one in her classroom because her birthday is in November. So yeah, got her this backpack. It has a little flap on the inside and a little zipper compartment on the front. And the school specifically asks for bigger backpacks, not necessarily taller backpacks. Backpacks that are big enough for like a manila folder to fit into for like school communication and things like that. So we got that. And a lot of her school supplies I also got from either like Ollie's or Target. So with all the things that we needed, I'm pretty sure we definitely stayed under $75. So I got paper towels. This is what the school requested, a 2-pack, sandwich bags, her change of clothes. I put 2 in here, one for like fall and winter and one for summer right now when the weather is still hot. They asked for 2 things of tissue, and now she's in the back. 2 things of wipes, and I labeled these as well. Come over here, I will hand you stuff, okay? I'll hand it to you. I labeled her wipes. I do know that as far as Blair still being in diapers, she will have like her own diapers to use, but they share the wipes. But I am going to ask them if she can just use these wipes because she does have a mild case of eczema, and you know, either the Target or the Huggies brand is what we've always been using and what does not irritate her skin. And the little sticky part has come off with that. We have that. They asked for 2 packs of Lysol wipes, a can of Lysol, but they were out at the store, so I just got Microban. And then they asked for her immunization records and a pack of diapers for her, and we would just send more as she needs them. So something else that I wanted to show y'all was her lunch situation. She is going part-time. She's going 9 to 1, so we do have to send a lunch with her. And I did label like her lunch boxes and her water bottles and everything like that with the Cricut, so I'm going to show y'all that too. Okay, y'all, so here's an example of one of her water bottles. We have like 4. What's wrong? It's no water in here. You want it? We have like 4 for her, and I just labeled all of them. Obviously she's thirsty, but she has a water bottle in here somewhere. Y'all see it right there? But she wants the new bottle, of course. And then I found these lunch box things at Marshall's. And this is what I'm going to be sending her lunch in at school. And again, cricketed her name on there. And these have like little utensils, and I like that it's 3 compartments. So I can do like a fruit and veggie and something else. The pink one is a little bit bigger, you can see, but it's okay. And I just got 2 of these because I feel like, you know, we don't need more than that. So yeah, that's it, you guys. So we're gonna head out the door and go meet our teachers. Hey y'all, editing me here. I also wanted to include, I think I may have talked about this on other videos, I'm not sure, but I also wanted to include and talk about our process for finding a preschool for Blair and what that was like. So having been a nanny before being a parent, I understand how stressful it can be to find care for your kid, whether it's full-time or part-time, and just underestimating the time and the energy that goes into that process. And just to be honest with you, over the 10 years of me being a nanny, a lot of the gigs that I got, a lot of the families that I worked for came about because they got waitlisted at a daycare. Yeah, but there just weren't any good fits for their family philosophy and how they wanted to raise their kid, or there were issues with availability. So they decided to hire a nanny. So when Blair was born, I knew that I wanted to stay at home with her for as long as possible. It did not initially turn, it wasn't initially like a thing for me to be a stay-at-home mom, but that's what it turned into. And so I knew around the time she turned 2 that I wanted her to be in part-time care. I don't want Blair to be in full-time care until it's time for her to start like regular school, like kindergarten. And even still, that's not really full-time, I guess. But I didn't want her to be somewhere full-time. For me, I just couldn't justify it. I want to spend as much time with her as possible, and then having been a nanny and having helped raise so many other people's kids is, again, that's just like a trigger for me, like a guilty spot for me as a parent. Some parents are okay with putting their kid in full-time care. Obviously, it's not uncommon. I'm not saying it's wrong. That just wasn't what I wanted, and you have to know what you want as a parent. So by the time she turned 1, I knew I wanted to find a part-time option for her, just to give me a little bit of relief, to give her some socialization with other kids and other caregivers, and just kind of working our way up to, you know, her being ready for regular school and kind of like that kindergarten readiness as far as the social side of it, right? So when she turned 1, I started looking for part-time preschools, daycares, whatever. Mind y'all, I said when she turned 1. We started looking a year early because depending on the area that you live in, just depending on what the economy is like and what the parenting world is like at that time, these wait lists for daycares, for private schools, for charter schools, whatever, just the wait list in general for childcare is real. Like, the wait list is real. So once she turned 1, I started looking around at places, started looking at the availability, started looking at tuition costs, started looking at if part-time care was an option. And for me personally, this is the issue that I ran into. There were not a lot of schools that offered part-time care. I think I ended up looking at 8 preschools in our area, and of the 8, 3 offered part-time care. And even still with that, there was kind of like a scenario where, you know, oh, well, you can pick your kid up early, but you still have to pay the full-time price. There were only 3 schools out of the 8 that I looked at that had a part-time price. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you're looking at that as well. Like, am I paying for the time of childcare that I need, or am I paying a flat rate? And I understand that because if you look at how much preschool teachers get paid, how much teachers get paid in general, how many kids are at the school, if they're feeding your kid lunch, if you can drop your kid off at 7 a.m. and pick them up at 6 p.m. Like, if you look at all of the mechanics that go into a childcare facility, making sure that, you know, the kids have activities, making sure that there's a playground. The preschool, they have rent to pay, they have a light bill to pay, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it makes sense. Like, I completely understand why childcare is expensive. And even still, me working as a nanny, I typically don't do anything less than 18 an hour. 20 is usually, you know, my typical flat rate. So I get it. I get it. So yeah, so out of the 3 that I found, we ended up narrowing it down to 1. And we ended up touring that preschool, the one that Blair's enrolled in now. We ended up touring like 3 times. We toured after hours. We toured during school hours when like the kids were actually there, and we could kind of see the temperament, we could see the culture, we could see the diversity, all that type of stuff. And then I think we toured another time, like maybe like before hours, or like maybe like just the teachers were there or something like that. So yeah. So make sure that you're doing your due diligence. The biggest piece of advice that I can give is start early, because what you don't want is to be waitlisted and then tour as many times as you can, because you want to see a space, especially a child care facility, in different environments. If you can only tour when school is out, I would say that's a red flag. Like, you want to go and like see the temperament, you want to see the teachers, you want to see the kids, you want to see the cleanliness of the building. When it's in action. Like, when we toured during school hours, we saw teachers, we saw kids, everyone was really friendly. We saw like the maintenance workers and the janitors, and like, you know, the music teachers and the dance teachers and all of that kind of stuff. You want to see how the school holds together during active hours, if that makes sense. You want to see like the flow of the day and everyone's temperament and, you know, the culture and the environment. And that was like pretty much the process for us. As far as, I guess I could talk about like the ratio. So in the beginning, so Blair, this is still her first month of school currently. One thing that I really do like is, so they had Meet the Teacher, and then before they had Meet the Teacher, they had a school play date, like in the gym. So all the kids from all the different classes were able to come, parents were able to come. So I really liked that we could socialize and mingle with like parents and kids in like the 4-year-old class who had been at the preschool like since they were 1, because obviously, you know, they're staying because they love it, and everyone just had really good things to say. We got to meet other teachers, maybe teachers in like the older classes, teachers that Blair will probably have in the future. Got to meet the director and all that kind of stuff. So I really like that, you know, in addition to Meet the Teacher and meet the kids in the class, meet your kid's teacher, you were able to have a play date and socialize with like other kids and other parents in different age groups. So I really liked that. In the beginning, there were 6 kids in Blair's class. That's kind of where they cap it. 3 of them have dropped already, and I'm pretty sure that it was because of the part-time situation. I think that they all needed more. And right now, Blair is the oldest. She's the only girl, and she's the only Black child, which is just interesting to me, like in general. And then also like the area that we're in, it's family oriented, but it's more like senior citizen friendly. Like, all of our neighbors are like older and like retired and everything. There are like lots of families here. It is very like a stay-at-home mom type of community. So I just think it's interesting that my daughter is like already starting off as the minority, kind of literally in every way. But I really enjoy her teachers so far. The other moms seem like really chill and really cool and everything like that. So yeah, y'all, I think that was it. Just kind of giving y'all a play-by-play of how we started looking for preschools and how we came to the decision that we came to, and the availability, and how we decided on her being full-time or her being part-time. So she's in school part-time, I work part-time, so it's just a really good balance for me. I've really been enjoying how it's going so far. Obviously, whether your kid is going to be in full-time care or part-time care is up to you and your household, and that's a decision that you and your family have to make together. But for us, part-time works. And then I think it's just because I guess when she goes to kindergarten, she's going to be in school from like 7 to 2, I guess. So the schedule that she's on now at school, like 9 to 1, is kind of similar. And I just see it working for our family long term, with her being in school, being in preschool part-time to similar like regular school hours, and then me working part-time. It works for us. And I think it's going to work long term, and I'm so excited about it. So I hope that this was helpful as far as starting the process of finding care for your kid. The biggest thing that I could say is start early. If you're like a full-time working career mom, and you know that like after your maternity leave, whether it's like 6 months or 3 months, your kid is going to need to be in daycare, then you need to be like looking for daycare like when you find out you're pregnant, essentially. Just look a year in advance. And then sometimes people, look up, or they have connections where, they can get into a facility. They can get their kid into a child care facility like, the month of, or what have you. It doesn't always work out like that. And then obviously there are other factors like how busy the child care facilities are in your area. There's costs involved and everything like that. So make sure y'all do your due diligence and get started as early as possible, so that you don't have to worry about waiting lists and settling for care for your kid because you couldn't get the care that was ideal for you and your family. So that's it. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.